Okay, right, in this video I'm just going to add in some parts and just show you how we can add multiple parts into one drawing if we need to. Now, we wouldn't always do this. This is only if we've got lots of small parts and we've got a big piece of paper, and for example we've got a little button for the radio. We're not going to put that little button on a big A2 page all on its own. That would be a bit silly. It would be a waste of space. It would be more confusing. Okay, so what I'm going to go is I've opened up my new A2 document. It's all ready to go. So what I need to do is go to View Layout and add in a model. So go to Model View and we can select our model. So I'm just going to browse to find my parts. So I've got this all set up, ready. Remember that drawings link back to our parts, and if we don't have our parts and our drawings in the same folder, then when we open up our drawing there'll be no part to show. So just remember to keep those together for that associativity. Okay, so I'm just opening up the first button. I'm going to put that in. So here we go, something like that. And click OK. Okay, so you're probably quite familiar with doing this with setting up a drawing. Now that's quite big. If we look at our scale down the side, that's actually 5:1, so it's kind of 5 times the size that we actually want it to be. And also for an A2, for such a simple part, we don't really need it to be that big. I mean, there's very little going on. I'm going to go use custom scale. I'm just going to go back to 1:1 down here, and I'm going to drag this in so it's a little bit neater. Okay, there's only going to be about 3 or 4 dimensions on this whole button, so it's relatively small. Okay, so if I want to add in my dimensions, I just go back to my normal smart dimensions and add those in to whatever I want. Okay. Next thing I want to do is I want to add in a new part. So let's go again to View Layout, Model View, and this time I'm going to select a new part. I'm going to go Browse, and maybe we will add in button 2. Here's button 2. Drag that in to pop that into place. Again, it's a really small part, really simple part. We don't really need much to explain what's going on. It's really obvious. Just click on that part again, go to our scale, use custom scale. I'm going to go 1:1 again for this one, because I don't think it needs much more than that, and drag them into place. Okay, again I could put in some dimensions, whatever I need. Now, we can always use this sketch features, and we can always sketch lines if we want to within SolidWorks in a drawing. So I'm just going to grab a normal line tool, and I'm going to draw a line. Remember to get that vertical, nice and straight, nice straight line in my, starting another line, right, let's go with them, in my drawing. Now make sure I see that snaps to the end, that's my end. Yeah. Okay, so this line I'm just going to use to start separating out my drawings. I'm going to draw another line, maybe from the top down to here. And again, actually just make sure, I'm going to do this a little bit quickly now, but just make sure that those lines meet nicely with the border. Okay, here we go. So I've said I'm just thinking and have 3 parts running along the top, really simple parts, and then maybe I'll put a bigger part in the bottom. So maybe I'll just go to my View Layout, Model View, and let's put in maybe the front plate in the down here. Maybe put an edge on it. Okay, so you can see I'm starting to build up my drawing with all my different parts. Now if you do this, the most important thing to do is to make sure we annotate these and we put a note against each one to say what that part is. So this one is button 1 and what scale it is. If we change it, if we've got multiple scales on the drawing, make sure we state it. So scale 1:1. Okay, again choose a nice font. Make it clear, concise, the correct size. Make it nice and easy to read, okay? So there we go, button 1, scale 1:1. Now I might want to tweak that slightly. I'd obviously tidy this up. I'd line up those lines. I'd make this nice and evenly spaced. And I'd put all my dimensions on. But this way we can just group a few parts into one drawing with nice clear boundaries between them, which makes it easy to understand and easy to read. When we print though, just one thing to note is that often when we print, these lines that we've just drawn manually inside, sometimes print out in blue. So what we want to do is when we go for print, just print in grayscale, print in black and white or something like that, and then it will avoid these lines coming out in blue. If you print in colour, it can sometimes happen. It doesn't always happen, but it sometimes can, depending on the settings that you've got. Okay, it's nice and easy, and put in all of our notes to dictate which part is which, and the scale, and all the dimensions. Okay.